What's up, my little pretties? It's your mistress, the Queen of Lions here, and today we are back with another episode of Shadows and Pretties. Now, today in this episode, we're going to be covering another topic, and it's another Scooby Doo movie. So last time, which was the other day, we reviewed episode 26. It was called Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. That's the movie we did cover that topic up last time. Yeah, that's the last time where we left off. So, in today's episode, we are going to cover another Scooby Doo movie. And this Scooby Doo movie is another one you guys might have saw when you were kids. So, be ready to hear about this, but today we are going to be doing another Scooby Doo movie called Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. So, yeah, this is the 27th episode of my podcast series. I've been doing pretty well. So, I'm sure you guys are all liking it, which I bet you guys are enjoying it. If you are, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I have to say, I'm sure you guys all enjoyed it. So, yep. I'm gonna say right now that, that this movie, Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, is actually a sequel to Zombie Island, of the direct-to-video sequels of Scooby Doo, the cartoon one. So, of course, this came out in 1999. Well, it was yesterday was its 21st anniversary. So, to honor that 21st anniversary of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, this is a podcast episode of it. So, of course, they were the second number of the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo animated films to be released in the late 90s and early 2000s. Witch's Ghost, which of course features supernatural elements instead of traditionally fabric ones from the franchise, especially giving them another darker tone that, of course, the film adapted into a book. So this is based on the storybook as well. So it's one of the second four of the Scooby-Doo direct-to-film sequels animated overseas, Japan studio Mook Animation. So, of course, we do have, certain characters from Zombie Island. So, of course, we do have voice actors from Zombie Island. We got some new ones. And what I really liked about this is that it has Tim Curry, who plays, Ben Ravencroft. Yeah, you guys probably know that, Ben Ravencroft or Tim Curry was in, the original It movie. Yes, the original It movie, just so you know. So, yeah, just so you know that, he's in that movie. So, I could definitely say, this was actually pretty interesting. So, before I get on to, why I like Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, I am just going to say right now that this is the very first movie that the Hex Girls was introduced in Scooby Doo. Now, sadly, they didn't really appear as often as I was hoping they would. But I really hope they make more Scooby Doo movies featuring the Hex Girls maybe in the future. I really hope they do that maybe in the next Scooby Doo movie. I really hope they do that because, I'm sure most of you guys remember the Hex Girls from Scooby Doo when you were kids. So I know a lot of people, and I know I have remembered seeing them as a kid, and I remember liking the Hex Girls back then. So yeah. With that being said, I am gonna go dive right into the movie. And for those who have not seen Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost, I highly recommend you check it out, as it's a really awesome movie and it's a really cool movie. So I highly recommend you go check it out. So Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost is about basically what happens is, the mystery gang, solves a mystery or is solving a mystery as usual, like in every other Scooby-Doo movie, when they meet a famous horror writer of whom Velma was a huge fan of, named Ben Ravencroft. So, of course, he assists her and the mystery gang involving a case at a museum, and, of course, with that being said, he invites them to his hometown, Oak Haven in Massachusetts, where they live. So, where they found the town was converted into a tourist attraction by Mayor Corey, with the complete of the 17th century replicas and attractions based on the alleged ghost of Sarah Ravencroft, which is Ben's ancestor who persecuted as being a witch and executed by the Puritan townspeople in 1657. So, yeah, this one in this just like Zombie Island was really dark, but this one just talks about more about dark stuff as well. So I know Scooby Doo has done dark stuff in the past, and this is actually one of them that they have done. So I can't really, argue because Zombie Island was dark, but I think this one was just as dark as that one. So yeah. So Ben disputes this and claiming that Sarah appears to be a Wiccan who used herbs to heal people, and reveals for years that he's been searching for her medical journal to prove her innocence. So yeah. So basically, while the gang decides to help Ben look for the book, but yet again they were kind of skeptical about this because despite the fact that, well, you're going to see what happens near the end of the, well, halfway through. So, yeah, let's get going. So, Scooby-Doo and the gang, who were chased by a witch, of course, they thought it was a real witch, but it was a ghost witch or something. And they find out that they were drawn by a sound by, the band called the Hex Girls, who is a female gothic rock band, which had Thorn, aka Sally McKnight, who has two bandmates named Dusk and Luna. And the gang decides to split up when Fred and Daphne decide to watch the Hex Girls while Velma and Ben go explore the barn, and Shaggy and Scooby follow the mayor. So Fred and Daphne, of course, see Thorn perform some sort of ritual, and they're convinced that the Hex Girls are witches. So Velma and Ben finds like a cherry picker inside the barn, and Shaggy and Scooby follow Coria until they encounter the witch and, of course, flee to the gang. So the gang and the Hex Girls meet up in the woods, and that's when the witch appears and gives a chase. Of course, they all thought this was the real witch, but it turns out that's not the case. So with that being said, let's move on, which, of course, when, of course, the witch is revealed to be Mr. McKnight, who it turns out to be Thorn's father, Velma locates the truck, which explains that the truck's arm was made to make the witch appear fly, and of course the townspeople jointly involved. Ben scolds everyone for exploding Sarah's good name. Back at Ben's house, of course, the Daphne and Fred apologize to the Hex Girls after Thorn explains the ritual was something for her vocal cords that was actually descended from the Wiccans. So basically, Thorn is part Wiccan in this case. So Corey and Mr. McKnight arrive to apologize to Ben for using his ancestor as their publicity stunt, explain that the witch was to boost the town's falling tourist economy when they found out the inspiration was from digging up the head marker for Sarah's grave, keeping it a secret from him to avoid upsetting him. But of course, it was then revealed that the shoe buckle that Scooby found earlier was actually from Sarah's diary. So everyone goes back to the buckle's location where Scooby discovers the buried book, which is actually a spell book, and that's when Ben reveals that Sarah was indeed a witch, who wielded her witchcraft against the townspeople before Wiccans used their nature-based powers to imprison her in her own spell book, and his decision therefore makes him a warlock. And that's when Ben Ravencroft, yep, you guessed it, people, he backstabbed the gang and he tricked them. What a good friend he was. He was a really cool character in that, but he had to go turn around and be like an ass. Yeah, Ben Ravencroft is an a-hole right now. So now, of course, later on in the movie that we see, which of course I'm going to see right now, is that, well, you could probably say right now that he created the mystery at the museum injured by the encounters of the gang, knowing that'd lead him to the book. So after taken from it, Ben attempts to flees in the mystery machine. Of course, that's the gang tries to flee, but Ben renders it by damaging its tires with his new powers, and it makes Ben take the book back, and finally summons Sarah. However, he discovers she has no loyalty to him, and her ambition was to destroy the world to avenge her imprisonment. Then after the rule, it alongside him. So disillusioned, of course, Ben attempts to re-imprison Sarah, but she tells him that only a Wiccan can defeat her. So she imprisons Ben, and the gang launches an attempt to get the book, while Sarah turns the pumpkins and trees into monsters and alters the size of the turkey to stop them. Of course, Daphne and Velma free the Hex Girls and later convinces Thorn to use her inherited Wiccan power to read the spell and re-imprison Sarah. The plan works, but she is stuck back into the book, and the monsters that she created, except for the turkey, had turned back to normal. So, of course, Sarah pulls Ben too, imprisons them both with the branch falling onto the book and, well, destroys it. So, of course, ensuring that Ben Ravencroft can never return, the gang of the townsfolk celebrate their deliverance by a concert from the Hex Girls with the gang, and there's still the giant turkey during the performance. So that was basically the end of Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. And now, I'm sure most of us have seen this as a kid. I actually really liked the Hex Girls a lot when this came out, because I really was hoping, the Hex Girls would, be more in the Scooby Doo movies, which of course they have made a couple of appearances, but they haven't really they haven't really, appeared very much in, well, Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Well, besides that, they appeared in, well, another movie called Scooby Doo and the Legend of the Vampire, which will be another movie I will talk about for another episode of Shadows and Pretties. I actually found this movie to be rather enjoyable and really amazing. Although I do feel that I wish that, they made more Scooby Doo movies with the Hex Girls in it, because then that way it would have been a lot more interesting and better. And I would really like to see more Scooby Doo movies with the Hex Girls in the future. So if you guys really want to see more Hex Girls in Scooby Doo movies together, comment down below. And I really hope we can get, Hanna-Barbera and, the company that makes Scooby Doo bring back the Hex Girls. I'd like to see them in a live action movie too. Like, I would really like to see them in a live action movie as well. It'd be really interesting to see them in a live action movie. So, with after the success of Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, which relieved their better sales from Warner than expected, the team were taken and tasked to create a second Scooby Doo direct-to-video film. That procedure was considering an off experiment, such as having the crew producing a little oversight from the executives. For Witch's Ghost, this creative film, of course, the freedom was scaled back considerably by the Warner Bros. Suggested screenwriters, and which consult the team to have produced the first film in total of the comedy in addition. Sorry if I keep misspelling words, because, I'm, not that great at it. So of course, the studio filmmakers toned down their concerns when they feared that Zombie Island had proven to be too scary for its intended audience. Yes, I probably said that in the last episode, is that, with Zombie Island, I'm sure that scared a lot of kids, and I have no doubt that it scared a lot of people too, and even when we're younger, I'm sure it might have scared you guys. But anyway, with that being said, I am going to say right now that, so let's get going with this. So, of course, the script, with the realization of that townspeople were using the witch as a publicity stunt, the original team find this unsatisfactory, and Glenn Leopold rewrote the last third of the film, introducing the concept that the ghost is real. So, of course, they were kind of disappointed with the first second back last bit of the script, so they decided to change it and make it a little better. So, with that being said, I'm sure most of us have remembered watching this movie as a kid. I'm sure most of you guys have remembered seeing this when you were a young kid growing up. Of course, with that being said, I could definitely say there are other Scooby-Doo movies that have done pretty good, so I'm gonna say right now that, anyone who has seen this movie probably have remembered, after seeing Zombie Island being disturbing. This one is just not as bad, but it's still kind of disturbing at the same time. Just saying that right now. It is disturbing, but I actually found this to be rather interesting and rather really good in that matter. I could definitely say that the whole movie itself was absolutely really cool and really well done when it comes to this movie. I really remember this movie being, really interesting and really amazing for that matter. I remember this movie being a really cool, well, concept for Scooby Doo, and I've seen, this movie tons of times when I was younger. But, with The Witch's Ghost, I have to say, this is just as a really good sequel as Zombie Island. So, this is actually one of the reasons why I really like Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, but it's also another reason why I find Witch's Ghost to be just as good as Zombie Island. Now, I am going to talk about another Scooby Doo movie in the future, so I really hope you could stick by for that. So, that will be really something for me to talk about in the future. I had a lot to think about this when I was going to, basically do a podcast on this because I really had to look more in the depth of the movie. Now, I do have a creepypasta based on this movie though. It's called Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost 1998. If you guys want to take a look at the story, I'll be sure to leave the creepypasta down in the description down below so that you guys can have a chance to read it. And feel free to narrate it if you like, as long as you give me proper credit. So it should be pretty good. If you do that, we're all gonna be good. So, with that being said, the creepypasta itself based on it is just a little different compared to this one. Yes, it's basically the retelling of the original movie, but it's just changed and, a lot of different things are happening in the same time. Of course, the Shadow Reader did narrate this back on his old channel before it was terminated, and he did re-upload the narration of it back when he first was starting up again back on his channel that he currently has today. Now, this story is on Wattpad that I posted, but it was on Spinpasta until it got taken down on Spinpasta. I seriously don't know why that's the case, but for some reason it got taken down, which kind of really made me, sad. But at the same time, if you guys want to, narrate this story, I'll leave a link to the one at Wattpad so then you guys can have a look at it if you guys like to. Now, with that being said, before I end up wrapping up the review, I'm going to say right now that I actually remember the Hex Girls being a really cool band in the Scooby Doo movie. Now, I really do wish that they make another Scooby Doo movie with the Hex Girls, or at least involving them. That'd be really amazing to see. And maybe even have them have their own TV show or something. At least that way it would be quite amazing. But not only that, I think it'd be bringing more audience attention to the Hex Girls, but maybe in a year or so, maybe they'll make another Scooby-Doo movie with the Hex Girls. They did appear in one episode of Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo, and even in Mystery Incorporated, but I don't know if they're gonna, make the Hex Girls reappear. Let's just say, and I hope that they do, because I honestly really hope that they make another appearance in the movie, as I remembered seeing this movie a long time ago. If you guys really enjoyed this episode of Shadows and Pretties, let me know in the comments down below what you think. And for my next episode, I am hoping to do another Scooby-Doo movie. You guys can comment your ideas down below on whatever Scooby-Doo movie you guys would like me to talk about, and I will take a look at it and we'll go from there. So anyways, with that being said, my little pretties, what did you all think about this episode? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Well, movie a lot better, sorry. I keep saying story when it's not a creepypasta or fanfiction. Oh my gosh. Alright. Anyways, with that being said, if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro. I don't have outros for Shadows and Pretties. Sorry, I keep messing up. I don't know what is up with me today. I think I just woke up and or probably just didn't get enough sleep. So I do apologize if I messed up. But other than that, I'm gonna say right now that I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you're brand new to this channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. So as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next episode of Shadows and Pretties, but I will also be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.